Okay, I'm going to take a moment and tune in with my own thing, so everyone kind of relax. Actually, I guess I could combine the two into one. So what I'll do is I'll kind of describe a process as I'm going through it. And then you can do the same thing. And basically the objective here is to get guidance on a particular question. And the question I'm going to do is, how can I best use the time that we have left? So first step, relax. Let go of everything that you don't need. And that's pretty much everything. Imagine yourself being open to whatever the deeper mind has to give you. And you can go through whatever process feels right to relax as deep as you can. For me, it's a matter of letting go, being open, slowing down, and just going into that deep inner level. One of the ways that makes it better is to focus on a small indulgence, whatever makes you feel good, because that helps bring you in to that deep inner level. One of the things that works well for me is to imagine that there is a place that I'm going to, a place that is deep within. It can be a place in nature, it can be a building, it can be a castle in the cloud. It doesn't really matter where it is or what it is. Just have a destination, and that destination is a symbol for that connection with your deep inner mind. And you are attracted to that place, and you are drawn into that place. And when you get to that place, there may be guides that will help usher you into a space, an audience with the divine teacher, with one who has all the answers. And when you get into that presence, you may pose any question you wish, and the answers you get will be perfect for you and the situation for which you are asking. If there is anything that is unclear, you may ask for clarification. Although I have found that most of the time the information is so simple and so obvious when you're presented with it. It just makes so much sense. And then when you are ready, you may return to the outer conscious level through any process that feels right to you. answer to my question was just 3 words. Just love them. So, I know what that means. It means that the recordings don't matter. The outline doesn't matter. What matters is what you guys need, where you would like to go from here. And my suspicion is that page 5 of the outline is going to be the key of it, and that's kind of what I was thinking beforehand. And that is just making that strong connection with the divine. And making that connection so strong that you were able to channel that energy out into your normal life. And to use that energy in every situation that comes up. That's what I found to be one of the most useful things. And that really is the high point of what this workshop was going to be. We've touched into the basic process. We've touched into some examples of how I've been using this process. And you know what? Okay. I got it. Oh, all right. The perfect answer. Okay. Actually, I'm going a slightly different direction here. Okay, we've got a little over half an hour, and for the most part, it doesn't matter if we finish right on time or if we go a little over. That's up to you. But you were telling me about the experience with the rash on your neck, and I can see how to do that on a one-on-one thing. You are wanting to get more information on your symbol, and that's probably more of a one-on-one thing. So I'm going to take 10 minutes with each of you and just do a one-on-one session with you to help guide you into the thing that you want most. And I don't know what your main goal is, but you can tell me when you're ready, when you get up. Let me take care of these 2 first, and I'll come right back to you after that. So let's do yours first. That's probably the simplest. So you guys can take a break, do whatever, hang out here if you want to. I'm going to come over here with you.
May we witness your one-on-one?
Yeah.
Which could be good.
Yeah, this can give you some ideas on how to do different things. So just for those observing, Greg's told me that he's had this symbol come to him many times throughout his life. And he wants to get more information on the symbol, what it means and how he can use it. And you were also saying earlier about how does this fit in with your life purpose and how can you progress further in that direction, right? Okay. Okay, so if you're going to take a drink of the coffee, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll set it down so we don't drop it at any point. Okay, so go ahead and just relax, however works best for you. And we're going to take at least 2 or 3 minutes just in the relaxation phase. So deep breaths are always good. Imagining that time slows down works well for me. That there's all the time in the world. No need to rush. Everything happens in its own perfect time. And at some point, what usually works for me too is to imagine that I've let everything go and I'm just a pool of water because there's absolutely no tension left within my body. And because I have a history with hypnosis, counting backwards from 10 to 1 also works well for me. And I've set that up as a symbol within myself for deep relaxation. And so if this helps you at all, we'll count backwards from 10, going down to 9, going further down to 8, drifting into 7, releasing tension and energy with each step as we go, down to 6, down to 5, further down into 4, getting closer and closer to the divine mind within, down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and we're there. And we'll take a moment to imagine a small indulgence, something that feels very good, because this does help open up the subconscious mind, the deeper mind, so that you can get better access to the divine mind within. And as you focus on something that feels good, imagine that feeling of pleasure going throughout your entire body and mind. And imagine a volume knob on a stereo. And as you crank the volume on that feeling of pleasure, it gets more intense. And if there was a color associated with it, the color grows brighter and stronger, richer in color. And the light of that color touches into every cell of your body, healing all aspects of who you are, and helping you connect even deeper, even stronger, more intense into your deeper mind, which has all the answers that we can ever want. And if you're the type of person that likes a guide or a guardian or a teacher to work with, your deeper mind will present itself in this form, in a form that is most perfectly suited to you at this time. And so, as you connect more deeply with your deeper mind, you may bring forward the thing that you wish to ask about. This symbol, which has been a constant companion for you for so long. And this symbol represents something for you, something very important. And your deeper mind gives you that information now. Helps you to understand the deeper meanings of the symbol, so that you know what it means for you. And in this explanation, your deeper mind also gives you all the other information you were looking for as well. How does this symbol fit into your life? This information is given to you, and it makes so much sense. And I'll be quiet now for a minute while you get all the information you need at this time. In this exchange of information, you feel that strong connection with your deeper self. and you know that the divine mind, the divine being of the universe, loves you more intensely, more deeply than you could have ever imagined. There is such a strong connection between you and the divine mind of God. You are one and the same. You are an expression of God, and God is an expression of you. You are two sides of the same mirror. And at this point, we continue the conversation beyond the importance and meaning of the symbol into your purpose for this life, the thing that you were sent here to accomplish. And this information is revealed in as much detail as you need at this point. And of course, this connection happens on a daily basis. Every time we go to sleep, we make contact with the deeper mind. And as we wake up each morning, we are given information. Sometimes it's information that we remember, sometimes it's information that is stored away for future use. And in the days to follow, you will be getting more and more information on these lines. You will be given all the information you need as you need it, each step along the way. And so at this point, we acknowledge the great gift that we have been given. And say those thank yous and goodbyes. So longs for now, because we will be back often making this connection on a regular basis, getting more and more out of it each time we come in. And at this point, we'll go ahead and come back into our body, into our conscious mind, bringing with us all of the information, love, and energy that we have just been given. And we are able to bring this energy of love, this energy of wisdom and power of the divine mind out into the world, into our lives, where we are able to make a bigger difference on the world around us. And we count up from 1 to 10, coming up as quickly or as slowly as you feel led to come up. And we start with 1, going to 2, up through 3, continuing to 4, growing more and more awake and aware of the room around us as we continue through 5, 6, 7, and 8, getting closer and closer to the surface. Now we are there at 9 and 10. It's a powerful one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You never said what his image was.
I think it's this creation that he's brought in.
That. That's it?
It's balanced, but in a way in which it's a different type of balance than what you would normally think of as a balance, a weight balance, a scale.
If you make more of those, I'll sell them for a lot of money.
Well, this is my form. It's referred to as a metaform, meta being spiritual. And there's a man whose name is Gregory Hogue, who grew up in Lowell, Michigan, and he has a company out in Colorado called Metaforms. And I met him when I was living at the monastery. Somebody told me about him, and I found him on the internet, and he built this one for me. I built one just like this out of wooden dowels, I've been building it out of like toothpicks and mashed potatoes, just like a third counter.
That is a sacred geometric form. We
Yes.
need more of that.
Yeah, this is it. And he's got a whole bunch of them.
Oh,
And he can make you one just like this,
wow.
or he's got a whole metaforms. Just look up metaforms on the internet. He's got a whole bunch of beautiful geometric forms.
Okay.
So I'm just curious, is there any part of that that you feel like sharing, or is it too personal?
Well, the what I got from the symbol was that harmonious balance, harmony, structure, balance, and a type of balance which, as opposed to a balance like a scale like this, it's balanced in like a global way, a whole, a spherical balance. It's a different type of balance.
Right. Like you said, there's more than 3 dimensions going on in that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an interdimensional structure.
It's astonishing.
Mhm.
You are welcome.
Am I dismissed?
If you would like to be, that is
You want
fine.
you to stay and watch what my process? I have a totally different process.
You could be dismissed.
But stay
We
and
just
help me.
ask if you don't mind contributing something to.
Oh, yeah, just as far as
Mention that.
if you wanted to leave, there is the basket over there for whatever you want to throw
I'll
into
stay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I need to go clean up.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
that's my job.
Okay. I have some ideas for working with what you want to clear out there.
See, I told him why I found what I found. Are you
If-
going to go over it in the process, or will it?
I wouldn't. So if you
so let
want
me just tell you, I remembered that when I was 3 years old, I had a permanent given to me by my mother in an atmosphere between my mother and father. He had just come back from World War II. And my mother wanted him to get to the GI Bill, go to college, and he couldn't do it because he had a learning disability, but he didn't know how to explain that. So my mother thought he just didn't want to go to college because he didn't love us enough to improve himself. And so it was a very bad moment between them. And it never did get resolved, but they just kind of got over it. But right then, it was in the atmosphere of our household, and I was, between my second and third, I was like 2 years old, and I was getting these noxious chemicals and having all this emotional upset around me, and I think that's what I just have some kind of a really deeply conditioned, almost cellular memory associated with the chemicals of a permanent, which I just got a month ago, and it had this huge allergic reaction. Okay.
just as a side thing, I used to be strongly allergic to pollen and all sorts of different things.
So did I. And I'm not allergic to anything anymore that I know of until this happened. I know. You
Right.
can change it. I know.
At one point, I back when I was using affirmations, my affirmation is there was no such thing as allergies. There's no such thing as allergies. It's just
a
a
form of
concept in your mind.
resistance.
Yeah. So that aside, you already know that. Okay, so
I know that, and yet look at me. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a difference between what you know here and what you associate inside. And so we're going to go, yeah, it's going to be a completely different thing with you. So since you seem to go within fairly easily, we'll probably go through that process a little quicker.
Okay.
But first step, obviously, relax in, go within as deeply as you can. And with this particular case, I think it's even more important to focus on the feelings of pleasure, happiness, joy, and love. And to bring these energies into this experience, because these will be true power in solving the current situation, because we're going to go back into the past and heal the past. And so at this point, just let everything go. Release it all. Focus only on a feeling, a positive feeling, a feeling of pleasure, a feeling of love, a feeling of happiness and joy. And just get into that energy of joy, that energy of love. And if a color comes to mind, focus on the color of joy, the color of love. Both colors at once, either one. And just let that color flow throughout your entire body and mind, touching in every cell of your body, touching on every memory within your mind. And as we go deeper and deeper within yourself, we are getting closer and closer to the divine mind, that divine spirit which has been a constant companion for you for your entire life. And however you see that connection with your deeper mind, allow that to take you even deeper and deeper, because we're going to go in to that space within yourself where that connection is strongest, where you are at the fountain of creation, where everything is possible and everything flows forth from this one point, a point beyond time, a point beyond space, a point beyond all of the universe, the point where everything begins. And you know you are in that space when the only thing you can feel is love, when the only thing you can feel is joy. And just allow those feelings to completely overtake you. Allow yourself to drift in that space, knowing that every aspect of who you are is being renewed, is being healed, is being converted into a positive thing. And that in this space, absolutely nothing can hurt you. Absolutely nothing can go wrong. And you are protected from anything that is unlike pure spirit. And with this energy, we're going to go back in time. We're going to remember a time that created this current situation. We're going to go back into that memory fully protected and coming as an observer with an adult's perspective, with the spiritual understanding of how people interact with each other. And let's imagine that situation, that memory, as if it had gone differently. Let's imagine it where everyone involved was full of love and joy and operated from a pure spiritual perspective. And how would that have been different? And just imagine the experience flowing with this new energy. And if there is any aspect of the old memory that seems difficult to remove, turn it into a cartoon. Make it ridiculous. Make some kind of humorous aspect out of that old memory so that it no longer has any power to stick around. And completely convert that old memory into the most joyous, most positive, most loving memory you could have ever had. and really get into it, feel it, hear it, smell it. All of those aspects, the sight, the sound, the touch, smells, and anything you may have tasted at that time. Just bring the whole experience back, but this time it's 100% pure love, 100% pure joy, 100% cooperation and joyous interaction. And this conversion that we have just made represents two completely different concepts. And so, for a moment, think back of what the old memory was. And what is a symbol that could represent that old memory? Maybe it's an image. Maybe it's a statue. Maybe it's something you could hold in your hand. And imagine that in your left hand. And in your right hand, imagine a different symbol, a symbol of how you would have liked that memory to have gone. The loving, positive, joyful version of that memory. And a symbol of that new memory, that new sense of joy and love is now in your right hand. And between the two symbols, the old memory in your left and the new, more powerful, more joyous, loving memory in your right, and I want you to see and watch the old symbol melting and withering away, and then becoming, merging with the new symbol, and how the new symbol just simply sucks it up, takes it in, and converts it into the positive, loving, joyful energy that is the source of who you are. And this new symbol of love and joy and positive memories radiates out throughout your entire body and mind, touching in to every memory of your childhood, every memory from the time you were born to the current time of today, and it transmutes and translates all memories that used to be of the old type and converts them now into a more positive, loving, joyful memory that you will now carry with you from this day forward. And all things have become better, have become healed. And this energy is now yours to carry with you and live with, because you have touched the fountain of creation and you are a channel of the divine. And this creative, loving, joyful energy is the essence of who you are. And you express this in everything you do. In every way that you react to the various situations, the way you respond, the way you interact with the world around you comes from this loving, joyful, positive space. And it is all good. And so at this point, we're going to realize that we can come back and continue to work on this memory if that is at all needed. If it is ever needed, we can always come back and do it again. But the changes that we have made can be locked in and made permanent so that there is no slipping back. There is no going back to the old ways. It is all forward now. And we move forward in love and certainty. And with that feeling, with that energy, with that new creation, we bring ourselves back into the room that we are in, into our bodies, into current time. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. I can see things have shifted.
I feel completely different.
It can do that.
Not itching at all. May I tell you what I saw?
You may tell me anything you'd like.
What I saw was that at the time when at the time when we were in the apartment, my mother and my father were quarreling, and I was listening. That we started acting loving, and my father told my mother, but I had a 2-week-long fever when I had measles, and I almost died, and it damaged my brain, and all the people in my town, they know I never passed the test in my school. But they loved me through it anyway. And she said, oh, I can't believe you went through all that, you poor dear. And she took him in her arms, and he took her in his arms. And then I crawled up on his lap, and I said, Papa, I'm so sorry. And then we said, we can make it through. You don't have to go to college. We'll be strong and stand by you, and we'll hug each other. And it felt so good.
Nice.
And it fed my soul. It fed my soul tremendously because my father never believed that I liked him the whole time I was growing up. He always said, he doesn't
I
like
look
me.
forward to seeing you at the picnic or before.
Okay, yeah. Try to.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Guessing I'll see you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you can sit with that as long as you need.
Okay.
So what would you like to work on?
Mood swings.
Mood swings, okay.
I'm mentally ill and trying to about childhood
Okay.
trauma and all that.
Okay.
I just really like to work.
Right.
Be able to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, as far as mood swings, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
I used to be the type of person that the slightest little thing would set me off into a rage.
Really?
So I
Sometimes I'm still that way.
I know a little bit of how that is. And just on a conscious level, I'll tell you how I got past that. And that was to sit in meditation and this literally took about a week, for a couple hours a day.
Okay.
And just focus on, I'm letting everything go, I'm in love now. Focus on the positive feelings for a period of time. And I'll tell you, the first couple of days, I would maintain that for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I would remember something that happened the week before, and then I'd go off into a rage for a half an hour. And then it's like, okay, I have to get in control of myself. Okay, I did that, whatever. Focus here now. I'm going to focus on creating something better. And by going back to that over and over and over again, it took maybe a week, and then I really started to notice how I was starting to mellow out. And I kept going for another week or two. And it got to the point where people could say things, and it's like, okay, I'm not that person anymore.
Right.
I am a new person now. I have recreated myself.
Right.
And it's kind of like what we did with the memories there, is we took an old energy and we converted it into a new energy.
Synthesized it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, there is an energy there, and that energy is driving you to something. And I eventually, not at that point, but I eventually learned that for me, what was going on is I could see possibilities that other people couldn't see. And I was just getting frustrated because I felt that people were either blocking me or distracting me or criticizing me in a way that I didn't really deserve.
Yeah.
And what I needed to realize for me was that, okay, they're in kindergarten, I'm in 5th grade, they're playing their games,
Right.
I'll eventually get there.
Right.
Okay, I don't have to accomplish it right now. I can do what I can now, do what I can tomorrow, and eventually I'll get there.
Okay.
And that's what I had to do for me. So I understand it. That's really the bottom line on this. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying I understand that.
Yeah.
And it really does get into, there is a similarity there because, I mean, the outcome is completely different, but there's a similarity about going back to that source and realizing that the core of your being, I have trouble with that word.
The core of your being.
The core of your being is joy, is love, because the desire to create, that is our purpose in the world. I didn't ask Greg what he got as his life purpose, but that is what I believe our purpose is to create. And we all have our own visions on what to create. So my vision may not be the same as your vision or her vision or somebody else's vision. So it's just there. But, okay.
I hear it's hard to get me into a hypnotic state. I heard that from someone. But, yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
You know what? There's a theory that I, for the most part, agree with.
Okay.
That says we're always in hypnosis.
Right. Yeah.
It's always there.
That makes that clicks right in with me.
Yeah. And
When you were talking about the show The Mentalist, I was thinking you meant a different show. And Darren Brown talks about that. And he's going into this thing about how you can be talking with people on a conscious level like this. And we were talking Milton Erickson before, the great hypnotherapist. And he developed this whole technology, which is now called hypnotic conversation.
Okay.
And basically, it's really just directing a person to focus on different things.
Okay.
The only thing hypnosis is its directed focus.
Okay.
When I talk about relaxing, what I'm talking about is eliminating the distractions.
Right.
Because the more we relax, the less we're distracted by the world around us, and the more we're focused.
Right.
Hypnosis isn't sleep, which is what a lot of people think, and that's one of the misconceptions. What hypnosis really is it's a state of very tightly focused attention.
Okay.
And it's just a matter of where are you focusing that attention.
Right.
And so that's why when we went through her process, I directed her attention first on spirit, on the feelings of love and joy and acceptance and all those kind of things, because that's the energy we needed to bring into that old experience. So I directed her attention there first.
That actually got me into it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what normally happens when you're in the same room, because your focus is being redirected.
Right.
Same thing.
Right.
So what you heard us going through has already taken effect within you.
Okay.
So at this point, I can say, well, there's not really much else I need to do, but
Right.
we'll go through the process anyways.
Okay.
So the other thing that I want to make sure to bring out, because you brought out the thing about someone had said, the thing with the whole hypnotic process is that you're the one doing it.
Okay.
All that I'm doing is just guiding you.
Okay.
I'm kind of giving you ideas on what you can do at each step of the way.
Right.
I'm not making those changes. All I'm doing is guiding you to make the changes within yourself.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
So, just as far as all that goes. So, if you're ready,
I need to go to the bathroom anyway. I'm not
Okay.
staying here.
okay. About 10 more minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay. Okay. So, whenever you're ready, just relax in as much as you can. And however that works best for you, taking a deep breath tends to work very well for most people. And another thing that is a little different than what we've done before, that can also work for relaxation, is what they call a progressive relaxation, which is to just imagine each part of your body relaxing on its own. And you can start from the top down or go from the bottom up. Different people like different things. For instance, if we go bottom up, you can imagine your toes. And just picture your toes in your mind. And just imagine that they are relaxing on their own. And then going for your feet, and relaxing your feet. And for me, it can also work to just imagine that they're no longer part of my body. They are no longer within my consciousness. And then this feeling of relaxation can climb upwards into your calves, into your lower legs. And your lower legs relax. And if you want to imagine them falling asleep and disconnecting from the rest of your body, that can be okay. And just let your knees relax. And then let the relaxation continue upward into your thighs, so that your entire legs and feet and toes are relaxed. And everything down below there is completely relaxed. And this feeling of relaxation can continue to fill your body, and going through your hips, going through your waist, going through your torso, relaxing both your chest and your back. And then it flows down into your arms like you're being filled with water by a calm, relaxing liquid. And it relaxes your fingers and your hands, and then your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms, and your shoulders. And so at this point, just imagine that every part of your body below your neck is completely 100% relaxed, and no longer calling for attention, no longer needing your thought process to be involved. And so you can relax your throat and your neck and your jaw. Just let it relax. And let your face relax, and your ears and your scalp. And now your entire body is relaxed. And one thing that also works for me is to imagine that I am connected to the center of the earth, like a grounding rod is thrust down into the ground, or a tree has its roots all throughout the ground below it. There is a part of you that is grounded into the earth. And you can release everything that is unnecessary down into this grounding rod. And just as a true grounding rod will channel a lightning strike down into the ground where it does not harm anything, you can use this grounding rod as a symbol so that whenever things come up in your life that might have upset you at some point, you can channel them down into the ground, into the earth, where it no longer affects you and no longer causes you to lose your composure. And so with this symbol in place, we're going to continue to go deeper within yourself so that you can make contact with the divine mind within and bring up the strength of that divine mind to use in many different ways. And so we go down deep. And at this point I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And you can imagine yourself going down a flight of stairs or going down an elevator or whatever feels right to you. And we start at the top at 10, going down to 9, going down to 8, further down to 7, going deeper into 6, and then 5. And with each step you're going 10 times deeper, going down to 4, going down to 3, deeper and deeper into your core inner being, down into 2, down to 1. And now we are there. There's a very special place within yourself, a place that is the source of all power, the source of your spiritual essence. That place may be a scene in nature, it may be a special room, it may be somewhere else entirely. And you may go there now and experience that place in as much detail as you can. You see the sights, you hear the sounds, you smell the air, you feel the ground beneath you. And if there's anything worthy of being tasted, that sense is involved as well. There is an energy in this place, a vibration that pulsates to a frequency of joy, a frequency of love, a frequency of divine creation. And it's almost like a radiation that permeates every cell of your being, giving this divine energy of love and joy into every cell of your body, into every corner of your mind. And if this energy of love and joy were a color, what color would it be? Whatever color your divine mind shows you now, imagine that color growing stronger and brighter, richer and more vivid. And this is just one symbol you were able to use at any point. You want to reconnect with the deeper aspect of who you are. If you want to bring this energy into any situation of your life, all you have to do is think of this color, and this connection is reestablished, and the energy is there for you. And at this point, we can ask our deeper mind, which may show up in any form most appropriate to you, either a person, an animal, a thing, a ball of light. Whatever form is most acceptable to you, your deeper mind, your divine mind, will show itself to you now. And with this connection that you have, you may return here at any point, and you may ask for guidance on how to handle different situations, how to carry the strength forward so that you create the life that you were born to create. And there's tons of information coming into your mind. Information that gives you a purpose, gives you the motivation and inspiration to maintain that calm focus whenever you need it, to be able to express those wonderfully positive emotions whenever they are appropriate, and to reserve the other emotions for only those select times when they are appropriate. We have all emotions because they are all appropriate at different times. And the wisdom you get from your divine mind gives you the skills and the mastery to use the appropriate emotion at the appropriate time in all situations. And this mastery can be represented by a symbol that can be used as inspiration or as a badge of achievement. And this symbol is something that you can think of easily in any situation, both as a target to shoot for and as a symbol of your accomplishments when you've done well. And so at this point, we're going to thank our deeper mind for the information, inspiration, and the experience of basking in these wonderful energies, knowing that we can carry these energies with us out into the normal world, and we can come back anytime we want to renew our supply. So go ahead and thank your deeper mind for all that it has given you, for the gift that we have been given. And we can now make our way back up into the outer world, up into your body, into the room around us. Take a deep breath to wake up the body again. Wiggle the toes. Let us know that they are still a part of our body. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay. Glad to hear that you got that kind of reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Even though my mind kept wandering a little bit, it did a lot less than normal. I kept on thinking about how, should I take my medication? I don't know why I kept coming to my, but I want to eventually stop taking it, per the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Think I'll be able to do that with this?
I would say that eventually you will.
Okay.
As far as the timing, I would say ask your deeper mind on that.
Okay.
because it has its own way of dealing with things.
Okay.
It may say that, hey, you're perfectly fine to go and whatever.
Yeah.
It may say, hey, let's do this gradual. Let's take it one step at a time.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So,
But I would say go with whatever that deeper wisdom tells you to do.
wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
That's good. Yeah. You don't need to go through a whole lot of detail.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. Whew.
I suspect that it will take some time to process. I mean, I did kind of throw in the suggestion about tons of information coming in.
Yeah.
I did give you that. So
All the way from improv comedy to a bunch of other things went in my head.
it will sort itself out.
Okay.
It will sort itself out. And I think I mentioned with Greg about how we get more information in our dreams, and sometimes we wake up with information that helps us. I know for me, some of the best ideas I get all day are the ones I get as I'm waking up in the morning.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
Yeah. I usually don't remember my dreams anymore, but when I wake up, I have to write things down right away.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're all jam-packed. My dreams are like, I think I'm in there for a couple weeks, but I'm just unconscious.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time flows differently in a dream than it does on this level.
Yeah.